Teste de sinteses acidentes B.
Welcome, I'm the tutor. Let's make sure your audio is working. Please ensure that the volume on your device is turned up. Can you hear the music? First, is your child a boy or a girl? Let's get test student B set up. Am I pronouncing his name correctly? Great. Can I give you a quick demo of how I'll teach test student B? It will take about 2 minutes. Okay, let's dive in. Here's a little division problem every kid will recognize. Can you share these delicious cookies fairly? Tap on the hand icon if you need some help with this. Nice, I see you're figuring it out. Carry on. One more to go. Your division skills are spot on. Now let's say test student B just solved this problem. A normal math app would give a ton of practice problems just like this one. Would he enjoy that? That's fine. I can give him infinite practice problems. But any app can do that. What makes me special is my ability to adapt to each student. And I'll adapt for you too. So let's mix it up. What if we add a fifth cookie? This one's a little more tricky to share. Try tapping on the cookie cutter icon. Now switch off the cookie cutter. All right, now you're all set up to share out those remaining. Superb. Everyone gets 2.5 cookies each. Just look at their happy little faces. You're flying through these, so I'll make the next one a little harder. This time you have 3 cookies. Divide them equally among the 4 people.
Let's make a mistake on purpose.
Ah, there's not enough for everyone to get a whole cookie. I'll reset them for you. You may need to slice these cookies up. Good idea. We'll need to... You could try sharing them out now, or you might need to cut them into quarters. Yeah, I like where you're going with this. You're on the home stretch now. Share those quarters out. Remember to switch off the cookie cutter first. Nice. Everyone's happy. They each get 3/4 of a cookie. It's kind of fun slicing up and dragging these cookies around, right? Allowing students to play like this helps them to build physical intuition before I move into more abstract concepts. I'm excited to work with test student B. To unlock all my lessons and start his learning journey, we just need to set up your subscription. For your privacy, I'll leave you alone to set up your subscription. I'm looking forward to working with your family.
Getting promo discounts for the program, so you can keep going on.
Welcome back, test student B. Want to pick up with place value today? This is the exploding dots machine. Let's take it for a spin. Can you make 23? Try clicking or tapping here. Just like that. Carry on. Excellent. Could you do 35? Just raise your hand if you're stuck. Delighted to help. Let's learn about this machine. Remind me how old you are again? Great. It might feel like you've learned some of this before, but stick with me. I promise it will get more challenging quickly. Just for fun, let's make 7 dots with the widget. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There you go, 7 dots. Dots like these are a perfectly fine way to keep track of things. But which is easier to read, the number 7 or the picture of dots? I agree. That's probably why people invented numbers. Now, why don't you add 3 more dots? Whoa, I did not see that coming. How many dots do we have now? Interesting. When we got to 10, we made a group. Our lonely dots became a mighty splodge. If one splodge has 10 dots, how many dots are in 2 splodges? Excellent. Okay, let's count to 20. Add the dots if you please. 11. Whoa, it happened again. How many do you think we'll have to add to get another splodge? I think you're right. Now I want you to give me 100 dots. You can keep adding them one at a time if you like. Or raise your hand and I'll show you an easier way. Great, let's be lazy. I'll add a button to the widget. Go ahead and smash that button. 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. You made it, 100. Did you notice how many 10 splodges it took to make a 100 splodge? Go ahead and count them now. 10 dots grouped up into a splodge. 10 splodges grouped up into a bigger splodge. How many of these big splodges do you think we'll have to make before we get an even bigger splodge? Let's try it. Here's a new button. Go ahead and add 10 of these 100 splodges. 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900. Whoa, an even bigger splodge. I wonder if we could go on forever just making bigger splodges every time we get to 10. Okay, good job. If you like, you can play around with the widget. Just raise your hand when you're done. 900. 0. 1. 11. 111. 113. 140. All done? Great work today. Amazing. Shall we continue with place value? Go ahead and select a lesson. See if you can divide these cookies evenly. Excellent. 4 cookies divided by 2 people. But how about 5 cookies divided by 2 people? Try giving each person the same amount. Nice, but there's one left over. What should we do with the extra cookie? Ah, but that would be a waste. We could cut a cookie in half. Let me grab a knife. Click on a cookie to slice it in half. Perfect. Now divvy up that final cookie. That's it. How many cookies would you say each person got? Well, they each got 3 pieces, but one of those pieces is half a cookie. To write the number of whole cookies, we can just write the number 2. Nope. But for the half cookie, we need a fraction. Do you know how to write the fraction for 1/2? We can write it like this, 1/2. Did you know when we stack 2 numbers like this, it's called a fraction? Yeah, a whole number like 2 counts whole cookies, but a fraction like 1/2 lets us count part of a cookie. So each person has 2.5 cookies. Now we've got 5 cookies and 4 people. Click up here to switch between slicing mode and sharing mode. See if you can divide the cookies equally. Well done. Each person got a whole cookie, plus a little extra. This time, the extra part is half of a half. Do you know what that's called? Ah, a third is really close. It's actually called a quarter. How many quarter cookies are there in a full cookie? Right, 4 quarters make 1 whole. So if a quarter is 1 out of 4 pieces, guess how we write the fraction for a quarter? Let's see. Since a quarter is 1 out of 4 pieces, the fraction for a quarter is 1/4. Want to continue learning about fractions? Let's do it. Here's a tough one. Only 3 cookies for 4 people. See if you can give each person an equal share. Perfect. You gave each person 3 quarters. But let me ask you something. Would a half and a quarter have worked as well? Yeah, 3 quarters looks pretty much the same as a half and a quarter. The only difference is 1/2 versus 2 quarters. Let's write these as fractions. See if you remember how to write the fraction for a half. Bingo, 1/2. And how would you write the fraction for 2 quarters? Exactly, 2/4. 1/2 and 2/4 are written differently, but do these fractions tell us the same amount of cookie? Right. It's actually not a mistake. There's just more than one way to slice a cookie. We can say 1/2 for 1 big piece, or 2/4 for 2 smaller ones. Fractions let us say exactly what pieces we have. Want to continue learning about fractions? Okay, let's get out of here. Nice work earlier on fractions. Test student B. Want to keep going? Here's a really tricky one. 4 cookies, 3 people. See if you can divide the cookies equally.
Tá.
We could give each person 1 cookie. But now there's a problem. We need to divide the last cookie into 3 equal pieces. Is this even possible? Well, we could try. Here's 3 pieces, 1 per person. Does this look fair? Well, I don't know. These pieces don't look equal. We need to be more clever. Maybe we can slice the cookie like a pie. See if you can make 3 equal slices. Click a line to make a cut. Here, try making these 3 cuts. Perfect. Now you can divide up that last cookie. Excellent. You split that last cookie into 3 equal pieces. Do you know what we could call each piece? That's right. When there are 3 equal pieces, each piece is called a third. And what do you think the fraction is for each piece? Nailed it! 1 out of 3. Want to continue learning about fractions? Sounds good. See if you can split 7 cookies between 2 people. Nice work. Do you know how to write the number of cookies each person has? Okay, go for it. How many cookies did each person get? Bingo! Bingo! 3½ cookies. Does 3½ seem like just one number, or is it more like 2 numbers? You're right. 3½ is one number with 2 parts. The 3 tells the whole cookies, and 1/2 tells the partial cookies. 3½ is a combination of a whole number and a fraction. Guess what we call a number like 3½? Exactly right. Since it's a mix of a whole number and a fraction. Here's some cookie pieces. See if you can split them evenly. Perfect. How many cookies did each person get? Sure, 1 cookie each. Now here's a strange question. Instead of writing the number 1, is it possible to write a fraction for this cookie? I think you're right. Give it a shot. Write a fraction for this cookie. That's it. 2 over 2. Since 1/2 is 1 over 2, 2 halves together is 2 over 2. So for a full unbroken cookie, we'd probably just write the number 1. But if it's 2 halves want to continue learning about fractions? Okay, no problem. Shall we continue with fractions? Go ahead and select a lesson. Choose a lesson from the timeline. Do you already know how to add 2-digit numbers together, test student B? Like the one I've done here in my notebook? No problem. We'll learn all about this soon enough. How about addition problems like this one? Do you think you could answer them quickly in a speed round? That's exactly what I'm here for. We'll take it step by step and build up your addition skills together. We can start with this. Pick a tile, any tile. Nice. What number did you pick?
I didn't pick a number.
Yep. All right, pick a different tile and drag it in. What's this number? Right. Let's get another one in there. Know what number this is?
4.
I count 6 small squares in there, so it's the number 6. How about we mix it up a little? Drag in a 3 tile. That's a 1. Try again. Drag in a 3. Let me show you the 3 tile. This is 3. Now drag in an 8 tile. That's a 6. Try again. Drag in an 8. Let me show you the 8 tile. This is 8. So you've picked an 8. Add a tile to it so it makes a total of 10. Need help? Tap this button. 8 and 1 make 9. Let's have another shot. Add a tile to the 8 so that it makes a total of 10. Remember, if you need help, tap this button. This time, how about you drag in 2 tiles? Choose whichever you like. Okay, now you just added 4 and 1. What's the total? 4 and 1 together make a little less than 7. Count up the total again and let me know the number. There we go. 4 plus 1 is 5. All right, drag another one in there. But let's use different tiles this time. I've locked the 4 and the 1. You've chosen a 3. Great. 3 plus 2 makes 5. Now there's 3 new tiles for you to use. Choose 2 and drag them in. This time you've added 5 and 4. What's the total here? Exactly. 5 plus 4 is 9. Okay, drag in another one. So this time you've picked a 6. I'd like to see you make a total of 7. Which tile will you need to add to it? Well, you've got a 6 and a 3. What does that make? I count a total of 9. Remember, we want to make a total of 7. Drag in another tile to make a total of 7. There we go. 6 plus 1 equals 7. Test student B, you're getting the hang of this. So let's step up the challenge. Grab a new tile when you're ready. What number have you chosen here? Now, can you add a tile to the 7 so that it... Yep, 7 and 3 make 10. Perfect. But what if we switch the tiles around? Now the 7 tile is on top. What's the total now? Exactly. We can add the numbers in both ways. Let's find another way to make 10. Pick a different tile this time. So you've picked an 8. Perfect. 8 plus 2 equals 10. All right, test student B, let's dive into something new. Do you know what doubles are? No problem. Let's explore this together. Drag in 2 of the same tile. Nice. You've just made a double because you've got 2 of the same number. So what's double 1? Precisely. 1 and 1 make 2. Let's find one more set. Drag in another double. Nice combo. What do we get when we double 4? You betcha. 4 and 4 is 8. All right, let's mix it up a little. We've got a 4 tile in there. Which number do we need to double in order to make 4? Test it out with the tiles if that helps. Good start. Great. What number did you just double to make 4? That's right. Double 2 is 4. Let's try this with some bigger numbers. Which number do you need to double to make 8? You can test it out with the tiles if that helps. Yep, double 4 makes 8. What number doubles to make 10? Right on. Double 5 is 10. Great work. You really know your doubles. Test student B, time to test your addition. 3 questions coming up. How quickly can you get them done? Here's your first one. What is 5 plus 6? How about 6 plus 7? What is 7 plus 8? 3 out of 3 correct. And you zoomed through them in under 10 seconds. You seem to have these addition facts down, test student B. So I'll leave the next decision up to you. Want to learn a doubles trick that could improve your addition even more? So I'll leave the next decision up to you. Want to learn a doubles trick that could improve your addition even more? I know you're great at doubles, so let's use them to help us. Drag in a 5. I'll double it for you. So a nice one to start with. Right, 5 and 5 makes 10. Now, if we know 5 plus 5, then 5 plus 6 is easy. I'm sure you know the answer already, but let's make it work with the tiles too. Perfect. So right, it's just one more than double 5. 5 and 6 make 11. Next up, 6 plus 7. Lots of people find this one tricky, but which double? Yeah, drag in the 6 tile and we'll double it. All right, so what's double 6? Yep, now drag in a tile to change 6. So if 6 plus 6, exactly. 6 and 7 make 13. Test student B, you're doing great. I'll let you practice a little more with the tiles. Then we'll wrap things up. Drag a tile in there and we'll double it. What's double 8? Right. So what's 8 plus 9? Right. 8 plus 9 equals 17. Want to try another one? At the start of this lesson, I gave you some questions. You got as you wish. Want to try a game of true or false next? Well done. Shall we continue with addition? Go ahead and select a lesson. See that button on the right of the screen? Tap on it until we have 9 dots in there. Almost there. Excellent. 9 dots. But we're here to do subtraction. I've set you up with a dot zapper. Press it to remove 5 of the dots. Yep, keep it going. So we had 9 dots. You removed 5. Which of these options shows what you did? Nice effort. 9 and 5 were the right numbers, but that choice had the numbers in the wrong order. Not to worry, I'll set you up with another try. Here we go. New dots incoming. Go ahead and zap 3 of these dots out of existence. We had 8 dots. You removed 3. So which of these options describes what you did? Yep, so what is 8 minus 3? Right. And how many more dots need to be subtracted from these 5 so that we are left with 0? There are 5 dots remaining, so we'd need to zap 5 away to be left with 0. All good though. All good though. Test student B. Subtracting to 0 can be a little tricky to begin with. But I'll be here to help you along your learning journey. It's going to be a fun ride, so let's get to it. Before we get started, I just wanted to check in with you. Have you ever done subtraction before? That's great. Would you like to show me what you already know, or should we start from the beginning? All right, let's see what you can do. What is 7 minus 3? You got it. All right, what is left when we take away 4 from 14? Precisely. What is 12 minus? Right on. Looks like you do have a good understanding of subtraction. Let's use the machine to help us with a few more. Over to the right, there's a purple plus button. Tap it and see what happens. There you go. You added one giant purple dot. Go ahead and add 3 more. So clicking the plus button lets us do addition pretty easily, but we want to do subtraction. See that lightning button in the top right? Go. Total destruction, taking away, removing, destroying. These are all ways to think about subtraction. I've added 12 dots in. Use the zapper to subtract 5 from 12. When you think you have the correct number of dots, press I'm done. That's not quite right. I really want to make sure you know how to use the machine. It's going to be useful for all sorts of things, so it's important you know how to use it. Let's jump to that part of the lesson and see if that helps. But I told you this machine would help us do subtraction. How do you think we can subtract dots? Exactly. So let's do that now. Just tap on the zapper over there. Nice. You subtracted 1 dot and the total went down from 10 to 9. We use the plus symbol for addition. Do you know which of these symbols we use for subtraction? You bet. Most people call it a minus sign. So we write subtraction like this. 10 minus 1. We started with 10. We took away 1. Let's try a subtraction problem from the top. What does 5 minus 2 equal? That's right. It's like you used your mind to destroy the dots. All right, use the zapper if it's helpful for this next one. I put 10 dots in there. What will be left if we take away? You got it. I want to show you one more important thing. Then we'll get a little more practice in. I have 20 dots here, but I'm interested in total destruction. I want to be left with nothing. How many? You know your stuff. Do you want to destroy them, or should I? Destroy them all, my friend. No remorse. All gone. 20 minus 20 equals 0. In fact, any number minus that same number equals 0. If you take everything away, you are left with nothing. It looks like you're getting the hang of this. Let's try a few more. Use the dot destroyer as much as you like. What is 5 minus 1? Exactly. What is left when we take away? You got it. You've done a great job subtracting with the dot destroyer. Want to review what we've learned? All right, let's do this. First, we saw that we could add dots. And when we added more dots, we increased our total. But we were here to learn subtraction, and that is when we take away dots. And we could take away dots by destroying them with our zapper. And when we zapped away the same number as our total, we are left with 0. We also learned that we can either write subtraction with a minus or by saying what we were removing. But let's pack away the dot destroyer for now. Great job. Shall we continue with subtraction? Which lesson would you like to work on? Here's your first task. Find the array that represents 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6. Tap on it and then press submit. Spot on. So how would we write adding 4 6s together as multiplication? Precisely. And so what is 4 times 6? Exactly. All right, click in the center of the screen to blast in some dots of your own. Let's start with 5 blasts. Now take a close look at the array you've created, and then tell me, what are the factors in this equation? There are 2 correct options to select. That's it. And do you know what the product of 5? Absolutely right. 25 dots. Do you know what kind of number we can say that 25 is? No problem, test student B. Dealing with square numbers can be tricky at first, so let's dive into it. Let's focus on the shapes that our dots can make. Let's start with this. What shape does 10 times 3 make? That's not the shape I see. A square would have 4 equal sides, but this shape has unequal sides. It's a rectangle of 30 dots, 2 long sides with 10 dots each, 2 short sides with 3 dots each. Why don't you take a turn with the blaster now? Let's get you warmed up. Go ahead and smoke it. And it's another rectangle, just a bit shorter this time. Why does 8 times 3 make a shorter rectangle than 10 times 3? Exactly. A side with 8 dots is shorter than a side with 10 dots. Let's do another round. This time, blast 6 rows of dots. Bullseye. And now we have an even shorter rectangle. 6 dots by 3 dots. One last warm-up. Go ahead and blast 3 times. Ooh, a new shape alert. It's a square. When you blasted 3 times 3, you made a product of 9 dots, and those 9 dots can be arranged in a square. You may have heard people say that 9 is a square number. Have you learned about square numbers before? No problem. We'll get this topic squared away together. So what makes a square? A square is a rectangle that has 4 equal sides. And what makes a square number? A square number is the product that we make when both factors can be the same number. Equal factors, equal sides. That's a square number. When you blasted 3 times 3 equals 9, what number did you multiply? Exactly. Both factors. Let's make another one. Which of these factor pairs will make a square number? Yep. That's a square, all right. The number 2 multiplied by itself. And what square number does 2? Absolutely right. 4 is a square number. I want you to blast me something super simple next. Go ahead and blast a single dot. No more, no less. There it is, one glorious dot. But I've got a question for you. Is one a Exactly. We're going to continue going on a square search today. Your goal is to keep blasting until we uncover a dozen squares. We've already found the first 3 square numbers. And there's a pattern here. 1 times 1, square. 2 times 2, square. 3 times 3, square. And it isn't just 1, 2, and 3. Every whole number can be multiplied by itself to make a square. Let's get back to our square search. It's time to see if you can find the next one. What's the next square number after 9? Use the dot blaster if you need help to find out. You found it. Let me add it to our grid. 4 times 4 makes a square. 16 is the next. Okay, this time I'll take a turn with the blaster. Which number did I just multiply? That's not quite it. Let's count the number of times I blasted together. 1 blast. 2 blasts. 3. 4. 5. So, how many times did I blast? Or which number did I just... There we go. You got it. 5 times 5. And what square number does 5 times 5 make? You can always count the dots. That's right. 5 times 5 equals 25. 25 is the next square number. The search for squares continues on. On the money. Multiplying 6 by itself makes 36. Another square number. You're already halfway to finding 12 square numbers. 6 squares found. 6 squares left to go. Let's keep it moving. What number would we need to multiply by it? Spot on. 49 dots makes a pretty big square, but let's make a bigger one. What's the next square number after 49? You're on fire. When we multiply the number 8 by itself, we get the next square number of 64. You're doing a great job so far with this square search. Let's get our new squares added to the grid. 25, 36, 49, and 64. That's 8 squares, so I think you can handle more square numbers at once now. So let's kick things up a notch. Time to find our final 4 squares. Which 4 of these are square numbers? Make sure to select all 4 and use the blaster if you need help. Wow, you aced it. 81, 100, 121, and 144 are all square numbers. And that makes a dozen squares. Check out that pattern. All 12 square numbers that you found are in a diagonal line. Many numbers can make rectangles, but only a few can make squares. And you blasted your way towards discovering 12 of them. Amazing work. Want to keep going with multiplication? Nice work earlier on multiplication. Test student B. Want to keep going? Welcome to Asteroid Edition. You're a space pilot collecting power-ups to fuel your ship. Click on asteroids that add up to the target number on the planet. Then click on the planet or press Enter to launch. You can always tap the hand if you need more help. Level 1.
Mm.
Tap 2 asteroids that add up to the target number on the planet. Your selections add up at the top of the screen. Once you've selected the right asteroids, tap the planet to launch. Mission ended. You scored 4 points. Click play again to try again, pilot. Level 1. Nice work. Level 2. Nice work.
Okay.
Want to keep going with Addition? Choose any of these games to get started. Welcome to Rounding Rush. Would you like to do a practice round first? Let me show you around the factory floor. Numbers arrive on the conveyor belt as parcels. These are the rounding machines. Your job is to sort each number into the correct bin. These are the rounding machines. Your job is to sort each number into the correct bin. If you need help, tap the hint button to see the number line. Drag the parcel or click on a bin to sort. Great job! 37 rounds to 40 because 7 is closer to 10 than to 0. Now you're ready to round. Let's go. Pick a mode to start. Round to the nearest 10. Round to the nearest 10. Round to the nearest 10.
Okay.
Let's go. Pick a mode to start. Shall we continue with place value? Raise your hand for me to show you around, or click the first deck to get started. I recommend starting in practice mode before racing the bunny.
Hello?
That's right.
Oh, I see.
Nice. You're crushing it. Ready to beat the bunny? Click Quit to go race. Five in a row. Five in a row. Practice mode goes on forever. Click Quit to work on another deck. That's 5 in a row. Boom. Boom. You smoked that bunny. Awesome job. When you beat the bunny, I'll show a diamond badge in the corner of the deck. That's right. Boom. The speedster, you crushed that bunny. Want to try fractions next? Let's pick a lesson. Would you look at that? They've arranged themselves into groups. Which equation matches these groups of dots? Spot on. Take a look at these groupings. Can you pick the equation that matches them? Ah, that's not quite right. All good, though. Here, I'll set you up with another. You know what to do here. Choose... not exactly. Not to worry, test student B. Division can be a little tricky at first. I'll be here to help you through it. So let's keep exploring this together. I've invented some special dots to help us out with division. Try dragging one around. Those gray outlines mean the dots are locked. Let's fix that. See what happens when you drag a dot onto another one. Look at that. Now they're hanging out like best friends. Let's make them all friends. Go ahead and put all the dots into one big group. That's a lot of dot friends. But what if we added even more? We don't want any of these dots to feel lonely. Go ahead and group these dots however you like until there are no single dots left. Have some more. Keep connecting them together. It's a dot party. Keep the party going. That's a big group. It looks so cool to see them all connected like that. These dots are going to help us understand division. Have you heard of division before? Great. How do you feel about division? I'm really glad you're here. We're going to learn about division in a way that might help you understand it a little better. Let's start by clearing away all these dots. Now, let's make a super simple group. Here are 2 dots. Go ahead and pair them up. Ah, they're besties. Here, have 2 more. Group these. Do it again. Good work. It's like we group them into equal teams for a game. And when we make equal groups, we're doing division. So, we've sorted our dots into 3 groups of 2. How many dots do we have all together? Right. We can make 3 groups of 2 from 6 total dots. The dots change color based on how many dots are in the group. See? The single dots are blue, while the pairs are purple. You can always tell if groups are equal. Groups that are the same size will also be the same color. Keep pairing the dots into... See? Purple pair. Well done. You have 12 dots sorted into groups of 2. How many? That's it. 12 dots sorted into groups of 2. That makes 6 equal groups. Let's try something a little different. I'm going to break these pairs back into individual dots. 12 single dots. Go ahead and divide these 12 dots into groups of 3. Way to go. You divided 12 dots into equal groups, and each group has 3 dots. How many groups of 3 do we have? Right. 12 dots divided into groups of 3 makes 4 groups. Before we move on, there's one more thing I should tell you about these dots. You can remove a dot from an unlocked group by double tapping on it. It will pop right off. Let's try it out. Double tap a dot in a group to separate it. Nice. I think you're ready for even more power. You can use these new buttons to add and remove dots from the widget. And here's a counter so you always know how many dots you have. See? We have 12 total dots right now. Let's use your new buttons to set up the next challenge. We need 15 total dots. Set it up, then let me know when you're ready. Excellent. 15 total dots. I'll go ahead and break them into single dots for you. Now that we have 15 single dots, let's make a prediction. If we divide these 15 dots into groups of 5, how many? Nailed it. Let's do it so we get some practice. Go ahead and divide them into groups of 5. Nice job. We divided 15 dots into groups of 5 and made 3 groups, just like you said. Mathematically, we say 15 divided by 5 equals 3. Let's do another. This time, we need 30 dots. Go ahead and set them up. We have too many dots. Keep removing dots until we have 30. All right, 30 dots, ready to go. If we divide those 30 dots into groups, You're exactly right, and you didn't even need the dots to answer. 30 divided by 6 equals 5. See, division isn't so bad. It's just putting things into equal groups. Let's try writing this down mathematically. In math, we use this symbol to mean divided by. It's just a little line with a dot above and a dot below. We have 30 dots. They are divided into groups of 6, and there are 5 groups. We can write this as 30 divided by 6. Let's try building a new one together. When writing a division equation, we always start with our total. We want 12 dots. Go ahead and set them up. Nice. Next, we decide how many dots we're putting into each group. This time, we'll make groups of 4. Go ahead and sort these 12 dots into groups of 4. Now, what number goes in the blank? Right. We divided our 12 dots into equal groups of 4, which gives us 3 groups. So our equation is 12 divided by 4 equals 3. Would you like to build another equation together, or would you like to try one on your own? Want to keep going with division? Choose a lesson from the timeline.
Okay.
Nice work earlier on division, test student B. Want to keep going? Which lesson would you like to work on? I'd like to tell you a story about one moment that changed my life. It has to do with aliens, numbers, and heat-seeking laser beams. I can't wait. But before we start, I need... Do you believe in aliens? That's whether... One day, I decided to take a field trip to a different planet where something amazing happened. Can you guess which planet it was? Wow, how did you know? You must be psychic. Mars was a blast. When I landed, I was greeted by a real alien. Immediately, I tried to communicate with the alien. Then, the alien said something to me, but I couldn't understand it either. The noises... I had come all this way and made such an exciting discovery, but I had no idea how to communicate with the alien. Then, it hit me. It was staring me right in the face. Yes, if the alien knows that it has 2 heads, maybe that means it's aware of how to count 2 things. And then I thought, if an alien can count 2 things, it might also know how to count 3 things, 4 things, 5 things, and so on. If so, does this make sense? Do you think the alien would count the same way? It seems to. It's a really big question. That's exactly what I did. I grabbed... Why do you think the alien didn't understand? Exactly. That's when I realized something. I had drawn Earth symbols, and maybe the alien didn't know what our Earth symbols meant, even if it knew how to count. So I had another idea. I wiped away the number symbols, grabbed a handful of... First, I placed 1 pebble by itself, then 2... Suddenly, the alien, both heads, looked very excited. What do you think the alien did next? That's exactly... Now that we had a way of communicating, I thought maybe my Earth symbols would make more sense than they did before. I drew the symbols in the sand again. Above the first pebble, I drew the Earth symbol for the number. Again, the alien got very excited. I couldn't tell. Then, something amazing happened. The alien began to draw its string. Again, the alien used. Aren't the alien symbols cool? Yeah, those symbols are sweet. Both are pretty. I think. On my trip back to. Are you excited to dig into these questions? I'm glad. We will visit. We'll see how numbers and math were used to put people on the moon. Want to keep going with bonus lessons?
Mm,